My name is Ayanna Brown, and I am a native Washingtonian from Northwest Washington, D.C.
So I'm originally from Charlestown, West Virginia, but my name is Demaya Edwards. Graduated from West Virginia University and then moved down to DC when I got a job opportunity and worked a few jobs here and then ended up at this amazing place called Georgia Brown's.
My name's Norbert Kopinski, and I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, but I've been here in the DC area for about 26, 27 years now. Georgia Brown's was my first job here in DC. I started here just as a dining room manager. Been here ever since. So I haven't left for the most part.
There's very few of us. I say that there are probably a lot of women-owned business, but minority-owned, women-owned businesses, not so much. I want to say there's 3 of us downtown in close proximity to the White House, and I was fortunate. I kind of grew up in this restaurant. We have low country Southern cuisine. It is not soul food. I repeat, it is not soul food. So if you think of Charleston, South Carolina, would be where this food really comes from. A lot of seafood, a lot of pork, a lot of meat. We don't really change the menu. We've had several recipes that have been here for 30 years. We just celebrated 30 years. I've been here 25 of them. But we really don't have to. I just think when you go to a restaurant, you kind of want to know what it is that you're getting. And when you have staples that are working, why change it?
Well, one of the famous dishes that you're going to see right here in front of me is going to be the fried chicken. The buttermilk fried chicken is always going to be one of my favorites. It is literally, it comes right out the fryer, right onto your plate, nice, fresh, and hot. Homemade collard greens with those turkey necks. And y'all know we can't go wrong with seasoning our collard greens with these turkey necks. Another highlight dish that we have is our shrimp and grits. It is very well known. It's one of our most populars, but besides that, yeah, if you ain't had that fried snapper, you gotta come in and get that snapper. And if you don't want the head on the tail for you, let me tell you, we're gonna chop it right on off so you can enjoy it without the head or the tail on there for you. But those are some of our signature dishes here would be the snapper, the fried chicken, and our shrimp and grits.
I went to University of Maryland. And shame on me, no UDC, but I went to University of Maryland and I came here to supplement my income. And when I got here, I kind of fell in love with this industry. I went to school to be an engineer and I just stayed with it. And eventually you're looking around and I'm picking my head up and I'm aging and I'm like, I don't have. And so I went to who is now my partner, and I said, hey, I've worked for you. I've given you my entire adult life, and I'm gonna pick my head up and I'm not gonna have anything. So I'm out. But what he realized, and what I already knew, but you know, as a woman, especially as an African American, you see all these others around you who are very successful. And no matter how ready I was for the position, they never gave it to me.
Ayanna and I started together for the most part. I was a dining room manager and she was hired as a host and wanted to quickly move up through the ranks of the restaurant. In my tenure, I've seen her go from being the host to the maitre d' to in charge of the private events that we have here. And now she's the owner. And full circle, I work for her now.
I started here as a server. I'll share a little bit about myself. When I was in college at University of Maryland, I was assaulted. I picked up and left the city as a result, and I was a young Black woman in New York City. My sister lived there. So she's like, oh, just come up here. Why New York City after an experience like that? I couldn't tell you, but I did it. And I met a woman who owned a restaurant up there named Alberta Wright. She's since passed, but she had a restaurant on 45th Street and 9th Avenue, and she took me under her wing. And I'd never done anything in a restaurant before, ever in my life. And there was all minority women or ethnic women who worked there. And I went in there and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And they pulled me in and they taught me everything. And when I got down here, I kind of took on that same role of just trying to help as many people as I can. Like everyone knows, the restaurant looks like it's glamorous. It's not. The back end of it is awful. But I've really made it my mark to help people. It's not about making, of course it's a business, so you want to make money, but it's more important to help those along. Again, this is an environment that I want everyone to feel welcome, but most of the people that work here And it's just kind of grown into this. It wasn't what we set out to be, our Black and brown people who are trying to find their way.
So I've heard about Georgia Brown's while I was here in DC, but never had the chance to come and experience. And I worked with another coworker here, which is an amazing server. Her name is Miss Stephanie. And I was at another place and she felt like this was more of a fit home for me compared to where I was at last. So I had came over for an interview and interviewed with Ayanna and Naja as well and got hired on the spot. A year and a half later, I became a supervisor. And then from a supervisor, I was a floor manager. And now Miss Ayanna has blessed me to be the bar salary manager here now. So this is my home. So when it comes to Miss Ayanna, what everybody needs to understand, she is a mother to us all here. First and foremost, a mother. Like, she will lay down the ground rules, but she knows what to expect from each and every one of us. And when I say a mother, I'm telling you a mother that will give you one chance and then another chance and then another chance until you ain't learned your lesson. Then she's like, okay, you might need a little break and then you can come back home. But when I tell you the opportunities that she has given me and what I have seen her give other people for me is I just never felt any type of relationship with any manager or owner as I have felt with Miss Ayanna. And when I tell you, she has provided so much for us all as a family here. And when I say family, this family has been pretty much most of the coworkers I've been working with since I've been here. She goes above and beyond. If you're in a jam, she is there to listen. She is there to help you out. She is there to give her resources for you to go to speak to someone else if she can't fix it. She is the godmother here. She's the main one that will make sure that all of her coworkers are okay, first and foremost. Even if you're having a bad day and you're not fit to work, baby, go home. It's okay, you're having a bad day. We got plenty of staff and we'll see you your next shift. That's what type of person Miss Ayanna is. Amazing through and through, in and out, and I will always vouch for her and stand by her side when it comes to this establishment or outside these doors.
I remember a time when there was a gentleman, and I won't mention his name, but had never worked in this industry before. And he came in and he was my boss, and I was training my boss. So you can only imagine the cringe as you walk around every day. And then finally, he was a regional manager or something came, and I was like, he doesn't know his a hole in the wall, and you have me train him. And I just kept feeling this energy of why? And we all know why. The opportunities just weren't given to us, and no matter how hard we fought for them, we still didn't get them. So I finally went to him, and when I said I'm out, he said, oh, no. What do you need? Because at this time, I'd built this business, I don't want to say on my back, because it takes a team, but I had led this business for years and years and years and years and years of success. So when we finally got there, he looked around and I kind of said, do or die. And I said, this isn't an episode of Undercover Boss. There's no confetti about to drop out of the sky. And he said to me, what do you want? And we made a deal, and now here I am.
It's absolutely amazing how many of the staff members call her Mama Brown or Mama Ayanna. She really is the glue that holds all of this together. She is, number one, looking at the things that the staff needs, and more importantly, the things that the restaurant needs. And if all of that works together and the customers are happy, that's exactly what we're looking for, and that's exactly why Georgia Brown's is here 30 plus years later.
I just think everything that DC offers and the people that live here, how we stand and how we fight for not just one cause, but for all cause. And I think with where we're at, historically wise, right down here with Black Lives Matter being right there, and as well with the White House and everything going on across the country, just seeing everybody pour out from DC and all around the world to just fight for one thing, and that's love and making sure everyone is cared for and everyone has the exactly same rights. Having some of those people come in here and share their stories with them, and for us to get to know them and us give them great food and give them just laughter while they're here to make them feel a little bit better is what DC is about to me.
Georgia Brown's is DC. Back in the early days, it was called the Rainbow Room of DC. It's where every mover and shaker was. I remember when I first started here, the front tables, that is exactly where everyone wanted to sit. We've served presidents, prime ministers, heads of state. We've served Rosa Parks. And that was probably one of my favorite guests ever to take care of here in this restaurant. So if you are anyone and you are going to be anyone, you're going to be here at Georgia Brown's.
I'm always thinking what's next. Georgia Brown's has been good to me, but I've been good to it. But this, for me, and what I'd like to do with the back end of my life is more about getting involved with the community. Again, we were just back there talking about our youth and how they're struggling and some of the things that we need to do. So I'm always thinking, what's next? What's next for me? What else can I do? What else can I get my hands in? I do a lot outside of here, just to keep myself up to date on what's going on and to try and help the community.